Guys, institutional shorts on ETH are reaching all-time high again. Now, I say again because we actually shorted with the institutions last time, and it was kind of a red flag. For me, I liked the setup because institutional shorts on ETH at the time were reaching all-time high around the grayscale unlock. But now they're at all-time high after the price came down 65%. And I really don't understand it. So we're going to look on chain, look at some of these shorts, man. $276 million short, $57 million in a loss. Absolutely crazy. $33 million in a loss. Now, are these traders going to get liquidated? Because these are some massive, massive positions. And now there's a huge incentive for a short squeeze, right? So very, very strange. As you guys know, we were shorting Ethereum at the Grayscale launch, and I put here ETH ETF set to go live before the end of the month. I still plan to short the ETH ETF approval. Grayscale have a larger proportion of ETH than they did BTC relative to market cap. And also, do you remember what happened on the BTC launch? It also dumped because Grayscale was selling. But Grayscale had so much more ETH than they did Bitcoin, so it made even more sense that we were going to see a more aggressive sell-off. And the cool thing about this sell-off is we can even see on-chain when they stop selling, right? We can just look at Glassnode and we can see when they stop selling. And they have just stopped selling their Ethereum, and we're starting to get seller exhaustion. And congratulations to the smart money, because they could see the exhaustion was happening and they've started to front run that sideways period. Whereas a lot of people wait for this sideways period, they've actually front run it. So very, very nice play from them. And this Grayscale outflow, I expect to actually turn into inflows. I expect this to reverse and this blue line to actually start trending up as we see inflows into Grayscale. And the sell pressure, it seems, is finally coming to an end, guys. So I put here, we know there's a lot of interest in ETH from TradFi. Should be a really nice short opportunity. Maybe cautious in case of initial short squeeze. We got very lucky. We didn't see an initial short squeeze and it just absolutely tanked very fast. Look at this as well, guys. I love reminiscing through some of these old posts. Nice opportunity approaching for DCAs and longs. A little more blood and the Mt. Gox sell-off would be nice. A bounce around the 50 to 53k range would be awesome, and line up with a 30% correction, which is very normal in a bull run. I'd be very surprised if BTC came down 40%, considering the macro right now. I'm still very bullish. And then look at the SMC bot. Look at this. We literally came down. We started shorting ETH on that launch, and then we literally came down to 50k. And 53k was roughly where the SMC weekly is. And every time we've come down to this SMC weekly, we've had an aggressive bounce to the upside, aggressive bounce to the upside, aggressive bounce to the upside. So I do brag and take credit, but really it's the SMC bot that has been nailing it absolutely this cycle for levels to buy in, levels to long, levels to accumulate. It's been phenomenal. Eventually we'll break this level, but for now, the trend is your friend, and we continue to ride up this bull run trend line. So really, really crazy. As you guys know, I'm in some long positions on Ethereum. Look at this as well. This is crazy. I posted this recently. Careful, guys, because a lot of people are long. A lot of people. I said be careful because there was loads of dodgy moves going on. Let me see if I can full screen come in here, and I would be very careful, guys, because a lot of people are long, a lot of people are short, and we've just been going sideways. So if they are going to move it and let go of the suppression, and it is going to skyrocket, maybe, you know, the best strategy would be to take out all the long positions first, right? So liquidate all the longs and then send it to the upside. That would make more sense to me. Sometimes I like to think about these things as a market maker. What would I do if I was a market maker and I wanted to push the price to the upside? I would first of all take out all of the shorts, and then I would send it to the upside, right? And then I would suck in some traders into shorts here, because they'll think, oh, we got rejected from the weekly, we're coming down, we're breaking back below resistance. So, you know, not only do I suck out a lot of the shorts, I induce lots of more shorts, and then I go and liquidate them all, right? Absolutely crazy how that played out, guys. I actually hit a couple of stop losses trying to play that out, and I just can't believe it played out exactly like that. And then I looked back through some of the charts, and they'd done the exact same thing back here in 2023. You see here where we were coming up to the SMC weekly resistance, And when you break this line, it's extremely bullish, and that's where you would take a long, or I would take a long position. And you see how we were like testing it, they were getting everyone excited, the breakouts come in, and then we had this like fake out breakout, and then they liquidated everyone. And then this was really the best entry. The best traders would have took a long here, and then we got the buy signal from the SMC bot about 1.6. So it's a very common trick that's used by market makers. They flush out all the long positions and then they send it. And they also get loads of traders to go short here, right? Because the price is tanking to the downside. Can't believe it just played out exactly like that. Teasing everyone, we're going to break out, price suppression. Like every time we try to move up, they had massive sell-offs, and then they sold it off, and then they started to buy it back up, and then we're skyrocketing now to the moon, breaking to the upside. We also do have buys on the monthly now. Let me go to the monthly chart. We also have a buy signal on the monthly chart, which is crazy because the last few times we had a buy signal on the monthly from the SMC bot, we had these massive rallies to the upside. Back here, huge rally to the upside after we got this buy signal. I think this was around $250, $250, and the price went to almost $5,000. So yeah, we're still on this, and this hasn't gone yellow. Usually the SMC bot you see over here on the legend, it will flash yellow when you are getting a bit toppy, and both of these signals have been amazing. I think this is where we started to short the grayscale ETF, and yeah, it literally called the top of the market here, pretty much the top of this pivot point here, and we haven't had that yellow yet. Now it's also going through the stages. If you see the candles went green, green, green into yellow, they go through these stages of blue, grey, green. And technically on the monthly, you wouldn't have to worry until you got into the grey or green, right? Usually you'll get a green and then a yellow and then it will top. You're not always going to get a yellow signal, so it is key to look at the green. More often than not, you do get a green before you get a reversal. So according to this, we still have grey and green to get through, and if we're lucky, we might see a yellow. And if I do see a yellow monthly candle, guys, I am going to take a very big short position because these have been so accurate. That I would be crazy not to take a large short position if we get a yellow monthly candle. So looking very good for now. I do think we are going to push up to $4,000. I do think this is going to be resistance. I don't think we're just going to wick straight up like that. I'm going to tell you why. If we actually look at the breakout target of this ascending triangle, we have some lovely confluence here, guys. So if we look from the top of this to the bottom, and then we bring this to the breakout target, it roughly brings us to our all-time high price, right? And if we also now look at this first leg move here, so let's look at this first leg. So we bounced roughly from here up to about here. And if we say that we're now doing that on this second breakout, it also gives us confluence, right? Because we now have two indicators that are suggesting that we're going to come back and retest this previous high. So we've got some lovely confluence that we are going to test 4K. Now this is going to be huge resistance because it was resistance here, resistance here, resistance here, and more than likely it's going to be resistance again. This is a very strange cycle. So, you know, we are just blasting through resistances on Nvidia and Bitcoin. Who knows? Maybe we just blast through a resistance on Ethereum. But I would expect some sort of a cool down here. Just like we had a cool down here, we pushed up, we had this cool down, we had this chop, liquidate some of the traders, and then continuation to the upside. Are we going to push up to 4K, get some of this, chop out some of the late longs because everyone starts to get bullish when they see green candles, and then move to the upside? We also do have this nice trend line here. We've got a lovely trend line. We have the SMC weekly that has given a buy signal, okay? And every time recently it's given a buy signal. Gave a buy signal down here at 1.7K, huge rally. Buy signal here, huge rally. And now we are on a buy signal again. And for now, we're riding this trend line. So this could be a nice area where we return to. And if we also look at the, let's have a look at the Fibonacci's from the top to the bottom. So let's say we do push up to 4K. So big psychological number. We know that's our main resistance target. The golden ratio actually brings us back down to around 2.6K. So, you know, maybe we're going to see that. Maybe we're not. You know, we'd have to push up and push down quite fast to get there. Otherwise, you know, we're going to have to break through this trend line, which, you know, I don't know if we're going to see immediately. So really, really nice patterns and signals and indicators there that suggest we're going up. And if we look at the RSI on the monthly, look at this. The monthly buy signal here from the SMC bot in 2023. Look where the RSI was. Very similar to where we are now on this buy signal. So we do have a lot of room to go on the SMC, on the RSI monthly. Now, obviously, if this becomes overbought like it was here, and we get this yellow candle, that's going to be some nice confluence for me. So if we push up like this, let's say we do correct here and we have another leg to the upside, and we get this yellow candle and we get this RSI on the monthly overbought, then yes, I'd be looking for some sort of cool down or rollover period, because it would have been a massive move from 1.5k all the way up. Now, don't forget, the institutions are going to get liquidated for billions and billions of dollars if this price continues to move to the upside. So there is an incentive for the exchanges, for the market makers, to keep moving the price up right now. And I think even if it moves up 10% from where it is today, another $1 billion is liquidated, right? So it's literally free money for the exchanges. I'm still in a long, so big up if you caught those. I posted on the 13th of July, so about 5 days ago, opened along on ETH 20x. So I'd done a degen long position on 20x leverage of 0.1%, very small percent of my portfolio. Luckily, I did do 1%. I was quite confident on this play, so I actually opened 2 longs, which I don't do very often. But the on-chain data looked strong. We could see there was likely going to be a breakout happening. We saw loads of smart money were getting in. And we saw the breakout, right? And the on-chain data is so powerful. It's so funny how the smart money all just buy at the same time, and then the market starts to rally. So yeah, then I put on 1%, and I think I'm up around $16,000 on that, maybe more now. Actually, it is more, because I already took 25% profit. So I think it's around $18,000 on this trade, and I'm up around $6,000 or $5,000 on this trade. So just over $20,000 in 5 days. So it's been really nice. You're not going to win every trade. I definitely don't win every trade, but sometimes these trades come in. And also the Bitcoin trade did rally up to 120k. So I took a Bitcoin trade here, which is come back down. It's still in profits. But yeah, it's I'm still confident on it. It's still above support. So, above support bullish, below support bearish. So yeah, really, really interesting. So many shorts here, guys. The grayscale rollover is the main thing I'm interested right now. A lot of institutional money is going to be looking at this and realizing that the seller exhaustion has finally come to an end. And also, Ethereum has just been coming down for 12 months, whilst Bitcoin has been pumping and pumping to the upside. So in comparison to Bitcoin, it's not even started its bull run, really. And you could say, Bitcoin is almost 100% over its all-time high, and Ethereum is not even close to its all-time high right now, right? It's getting closer, but it's not quite there. And even if it just went 50% above its previous all-time high, it's going to be around, it would put it at around $7,000, okay? Now, I know I have mentioned before about Ethereum, and saying that I don't think it's going to go back up. I don't think it's going to go to all-time high. Now, I did post this on my X saying I really hate Ethereum, and I say that with passion because I spent so much money on gas fees last cycle. I spent more money on gas fees than I used to earn in a year, and I hated it. I really hated it, and I love to trade, and I dreamt of being able to trade with no fees, and that's why I really fell in love with Solana. But I said I started shorting it. As I've told you guys, I've just shown you the screenshot. A lot of people say as if I shorted the Grayscale ETF, or sure I did. So I post these things to show you guys that I actually did them, right? A lot of people say a lot of things, but they didn't actually do them. But I said I hate Ethereum, but if the SMC bot gives us a buy signal, I am going to long Ethereum, okay? And the price of Ethereum was 1,782 at the time, and it was just about to give us a buy signal. So here was the sell signal from the SMC bot, and it didn't give us a buy signal. And this is why I don't try and catch falling knives. Everyone was saying DCA, dollar cost average, DCA. Why would I DCA? Why not just wait for the buy signal? And it really helps me get better prices. And we also had this green on the daily around the bottom, and the green is actually a bottoms indicator. So if we go and look at Ethereum on the daily, when we were in the moment, let's actually zoom back down. If we go and look at Ethereum on the daily, here is the green bottom indicator, right? So on the legend over here, you see where it's bright green. This usually flashes up when a token is kind of bottoming out, when it's about to start a new uptrend. And what a phenomenal signal. And then we got the buy signal here. So this is when I was posting on X saying, look, we've been in this massive downtrend. If we get a buy signal, I'm going to flip bullish. And then we eventually got the buy signal. And what happened shortly after we got the buy signal? It was rocket ships. I was on a 50x leverage, so I kind of wish I'd held that open. But I'm glad that I entered another long position up here. Again, it flashed to a buy signal here. And we entered another long position. So really, really nice signals from the SMC bot. Don't forget, guys, if you want to get this SMC bot, it comes free with the Patreon. When you join the Discord, you will get this, and you get it inside your own trading view, whatever token you go and select in your assets. It snaps the grid, and it gives you buy and sell signals. Okay, so what else did we need to check? So we've looked at the monthly. I think that's pretty much it, guys. Apart from that, if you want to join the Discord, if you want to see all the buy and sell alerts, if you want to see our leverage trades, we've got a pro leverage trader in here as well. He gives pro leverage trades. If you want to see on-chain data, we're connected to the blockchain, so you can see all of the latest blockchain data that's coming in, what the smart money are doing. Click on my X, so go to my X account. Click on my name, and you will see the link here to join. You'll see the link to the Patreon, and then you can jump in and get involved with us, and I can get you set up on the SMC bot and jump in the Discord to see all our buy and sells. That's it for now. Really still bullish on Ethereum. I think we're going to push up and test at least 4K. What am I going to do when we reach 4K? I mean, look, I'm a trader. I kind of have to short resistance. So if we push 4K, I probably am going to take some more profits off the table, open a short position, and probably leave my long position open just in case we get some mania and we flip this into support, right? Just in case we get some mania and we flip this into support. That way, I'm in a short in case we get rejected, and my long is still open, giving me exposure to the upside, and I'll set my stop loss down here somewhere, so that if the trade does come against me, and don't forget, I'm going to have already closed out a lot of profits when we hit 4K. But you know, it keeps me in the game if we keep moving to the upside, and of course I'm hedged with the short. And again, if we push up above this resistance and we start closing above, which would be, you know, highly unlikely, I will set a stop loss there as well, right? So whichever way we go, I'll hit my stop loss, and I can't lose because I'm setting my trailing stop losses. Guys, none of the information in this video is financial advice. Do your own research before investing in crypto or anything. Investing in anything is highly risky. You can lose all of your money at any time whatsoever. I am not a financial advisor, so always do your own research. Let me know what you're doing on Ethereum. Are you long? Are you planning to take profits at 4K? Do you think we're going to go over 4K? The degen in me suggests that I don't really need to worry. The degen in me says just wait until you get this sell signal from the weekly. Because, you know, what if this continues to rally like this, right? Let's clear some of this up. You know, what if the SMC weekly curves around like this, and we continue to ride up this, and we continue to ride up this? It could be a huge trade, right? I could make probably $100,000, $150,000. That's the degen in me, when I really should be taking some profits at resistance. It's possible. And then also we have the monthly, right? We have the monthly, which suggests that we have much higher to go here. And do I just wait for a green candle and a yellow candle before taking profits and closing these trades? It's a difficult one, and I might even just set trailing stop losses and see how high it can go, right? That's it for now, guys. Don't forget, like and subscribe to the YouTube video to stay up to date with the latest. Until then, I will catch you in the next one.